with the real estate sector in 2015. And we're joined by Fena Owira, who is the marketing manager at Sultan. Talk to us about this project.
Okay, Sultan Palace is basically a mixed development. It occupies 43 acres, actual beachfront property. It is a mixed development, so you have your residential units, a 5-star hotel in the middle, and a few more residential units in phase 2. So it practically has 2 phases. The land is inclined. We have different types of units to cater for each and every individual. We do have the private villas, which are the diamond residences. We do have the semi-detached duplexes, our typical townhouse, and then you do have the apartments, which are the emerald condos. So we have units ranging from 11 all the way to 80, 90 million Kenya shillings. So in phase 1 is purely residential and a clubhouse, and then in phase 2 is where we'll have an international brand, Taj, coming to manage the 5-star hotel in the middle.
And why Mombasa?
Mombasa, especially not just Mombasa in particular, because majorly it was about Kikambala.
Yes.
The area initially, as you can remember, this is the same area where we had Paradise, we had the Sun and Sand. After the terrorism attacks, this area has a very beautiful beach, one of the best beaches in the North Coast region. After the tourism industry down there practically just went down. So we wanted to revive that tourism market down there. And also North Coast is booming with all these major projects that are coming up in Mombasa. You have the Dongo Kundu bypass, you have the Lamu port that is coming up. So it's turning into more of not just a tourism destination, but it will be more of a business destination. So that is why we decided to put up a destination that will cater for everyone, both the tourism market and also the business industry. So that is why we decided to focus on the North Coast region. Okay.
And how many units are you looking to do in phase 1, and who is the target market?
In phase 1, we have about 198 units. So far, looking at the people who've invested in the project, majorly are a lot of Kenyans. We've seen both in locally and in the diaspora. We've also seen an interest in the market in Dubai, and also pretty much it's everyone here. It's everyone who is interested in investing in holiday homes. It's a pretty much mixed community that we'll have there. So it's really interesting. Okay.
And looking at this niche, holiday homes, it's not a culture that Kenyans are keen to. How do you intend on cracking this market?
True, that is actually one of the challenges that we're facing. A lot of Kenyans have still not embraced the holiday home custom. A lot of Kenyans still have the idea of, you know, when it's the December holidays, they travel down to the countryside. So it's still a new culture, and also investing in a house that probably you're going to spend once or twice in a year. So, but for us, the reception in the market has been quite overwhelming. We've seen a lot of, you know, at the end of the day, if there's value for the market, and when they understand the concept and they see there's need for it, then definitely they are investing in it. But it's still something that is still growing. We'll get there, but it's still quite a bit of a challenge. Yes.
It being a challenge, how many units have you so far gotten bookings on?
We're right now at about 60% in terms of our sales. We've seen a lot of the diamond, which are going for about 80, 90 million, get almost sold out. Now we're remaining with 2 of them. And then also, I pretty much say we're at 60%. Yeah, that's right.
And majority of the bookings have you also already closed in the deals in terms of, are they paying cash, or what's the arrangement like?
The arrangement practically is there. Of course, there are buyers who are paying 100% cash, which is a lot of them. Some of them, but most of them are paying in installments, because it is a fully financed project all the way to completion. So we don't rely on money from the sales to actually fund the project. So, but a lot of Kenyans are taking up paying in installments. Some of them are taking mortgage, but a lot of them it's pretty much in installments. So you pay pretty much 20% deposit, and then the rest you can pay over a period of time as the project progresses. Yes.
And one of the other challenges that developers have mentioned over time is the aspect of the cost of land. How critical was this in you guys taking up that project?
Beach properties are expensive, and they're not going down anytime soon. So it's a matter of putting up, but at the end of the day, you can still get the returns. You put up something right. So real estate has always been very capital intensive, and to get something good. And that is why you can even see most of our prices. We're looking at 11 for 1 bedroom and 80 for a private villa. So it is a struggle.
80 million?
80 million, 80 to 90 million Kenya shillings for a private villa. So of course they are expensive and it is a struggle. For us, this is our first project in Kenya, so it's not really about returns. It is about getting the experience and understanding the market much better. That is why we really had to put up with that. Yes.
And we want to quickly get more insights on this particular subject.
Okay.
Of course, if you're to look at the other developed markets such as Dubai, where a lot of people buying holiday homes, are we getting investors also from the diaspora interested in buying?
A lot of them. We've gotten massive support from Kenyans in the diaspora investing in this particular project. I think another reason why most of them are also investing into the project, our people in the diaspora are going more for the gated community, because there has been cases where they would spend money to their colleagues back home with their families, and then they come down here and there's nothing. So once you have a clear track record, we have been in the real estate industry for over 20 years, they see this is something viable, then of course they are investing in the real estate market back home. Yeah. Interesting.
The real estate industry that you are in, we're looking at holiday homes being developed down at the coast, a private villa going for 80 million shillings. I mean, this is not pocket money.
The question of affordability, it's very subjective, because when you look at Mombasa in this particular project, number one, you have to look at the cost of construction around the beach. Most, you have to use quality. You cannot afford to go wrong with whatever it is that you're putting up there. Yeah, whether it's the sanitary fittings, it's the AC, the area around the coast is very humid, it's very saline, and for us that's also something that a lot of people need to understand. So if you want a house, you can even get a villa for 3-4 million Kenya shillings, but you want a house that after a few years you're going to look at it and like I said before, it's capital intensive. When you're investing in something, you need to invest in something good and once and for all. So for us, it's really the cost of construction that is raising up, and that is why we have all these figures. So at the end of the day, we feel we're offering value for money. When you look at Dubai, 80 million is nothing compared to the market down there. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
And Fena, of course, the other question I'd like to you to give me answers on is, once this project is completed, how will it change the real estate property down in the North Coast? Okay.
First of all, right from the concept, we're bringing in Taj, which is one of the biggest brands, especially in the hotel industry. So what it's meant to do, it's actually meant to promote the destination and bring a lot of tourists down in Mombasa. Because we thought about it and we thought going into the market, especially the international market as Sultan, it will not really be that effective. But when you have an international brand, a respected brand down in Kikambala, it will attract a lot of tourists and it will open up the entire sector down in Mombasa. Land prices already have gone up from the other time when we had about land an acre going for about 2.5 million Kenya shillings. Now we're looking at about 8, 9, 10 million Kenya shillings per acre. So land prices in Mombasa, it has opened up the destination already, and we expect other investments to actually take place down in Kikambala. Yes.
And what's the completion date of this project?
The phase 1 is expected, the anticipated completion date is December 2016. For the phase 2, for the entire project to be completed, we're looking at about December 2018. Yes.
And of course, a substantial investment. Tell us a little bit more on how much has been spent so far, or how much is likely to be spent in the entire project?
We're looking at about 8 billion Kenya shillings in both phases. In phase 1, I think it's about 5 billion Kenya shillings. In phase 2, it's about 3 billion Kenya shillings. Phase 2 is a bit smaller, and we're focusing more on the hotel. Yes.
Of course, we're in the festive season, and perhaps our viewer, one of our viewers watching, would like to surprise their loved one and maybe buy a unit down there. Are the units still available, and what are the price ranges?
The units are still available. We still have a number of units available. We're looking at about 11 million for a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom an average of 17, a 3-bedroom an average of 22, and you can also buy them a villa which is going for 80, 90 million. So there is something for each and every person down in Kikambala. Yes.
Interesting. And as we close this interview, we'd like to give you the opportunity to wish Kenyans a happy Christmas and actually a happy New Year.
Oh, would like to. Would like to.
You can actually do it on that camera.
Would like to visit on behalf of Sultan Palace Development Limited. Would like to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. Those who've invested in the project, Asante Sana, and success in all your endeavors. Come next year and see you there. Thank you.
Well said, well said. See you there. And on behalf of the KTN Business Desk, we also do wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as the saying goes, invest wisely so that you can get a good return at the opportune time. My name is Abi Agina. It has been a pleasure bringing you business news throughout the year, and we do hope to link up into the new year. And take care. All the best. On behalf of our crew, take care. Kwaheri.